Good morning, boys and girls. Today we're going to spend quite a bit of time doing a lesson on using the gradebook and using SpeedGrader. I spent quite a bit of time the past couple days reading up on SpeedGrader so that I could give you all a little better instruction than the cursory course we did in the beginning. To get into SpeedGrader, there's lots of ways you can get to SpeedGrader. The most obvious way may end up being to just click on grades, just like I'm doing right here, and then from on grades you can take a look at your grade book, and this is a grade book that we have that shows what people have turned in so far on the Canvas training course. And just to show you a couple things on it, the green check marks means that it's been graded already. The green check marks show that these are assignments that were either listed as complete or incomplete as your grading option. That's the only options it could be. A green check mark means it was complete, and then I could take Brittany here, and I could take Brittany and give her an X because she hasn't done it yet, and we'll call that an incomplete. Also, if you take a look right up over here, you can see that Celeste, Ms. Gill, has turned in one of her assignments, and I've not graded that one yet. And to grade that, you could just click on this individual thing and put in a grade, but we haven't looked at it yet. And since we haven't looked at it yet, we need to get at it into SpeedGrader. To get into SpeedGrader, we're going to click on this arrow right here, and oops, that's not even quite SpeedGrader yet. That just gives you the opportunity to put a grade in, put late, missing, or excused on it, but it does not give you the chance to actually SpeedGrade it. To SpeedGrade it, we're going to click right here, and there it's going to be, wow, say what, that is all that she can. Celeste, I'm truly hurt that that's the best you can do. So we're going to take and give Celeste a bad grade here. We're only going to give her a 5 and say, is that the best you can do? Sorry, Celeste, I just opened that for the first time. Now, we can also take in this SpeedGrader thing, instead of typing it like that, I can take and do this. Is that the best you can do? Oops, hold on. Is that the best you can do? Question mark. And right there, it took and typed in exactly what I was speaking. How cool is that? That's just some of the neat little options you have associated with SpeedGrader. Change that to a capital I, and we're going to go ahead and hit submit, and now she's been graded. But we have put the cart in front of the horse, already grading things in it, and before we really get into that, I would like to go back and show you some of the other ways to get into SpeedGrader. Excuse me. So let's take and get on our Wayback Machine and just go back into the Canvas training course, and instead of going in through grades, I want to look at people. So if I click on people, I can take and look at, say, Mr. McCartney right here, and here's all Mr. McCartney's stuff, and I can say, well, what do I want to look at? Let's take a close look at that assignment. Click on that assignment, and here is where he actually turned it in, which is not showing right now, but it does show where he would have actually turned it in. Now that allows you to look at one assignment at a time for a particular person. Kind of cumbersome, you're not getting to scroll through them all. But what if instead we went to our modules, and in modules we took the assignment, let me go up here to submitting assignments, and no, that's not the one I want. Let's do right there. That's what I want, because this one has some cool stuff associated with it. When I clicked on that assignment that was scheduled to be turned in, what do I see over here on the right hand side? I see SpeedGrader. Now another way I could have got into SpeedGrader would have been to take and click on assignments. So find my assignments page, which that actually took us to the assignments page. It jumped out of modules into assignments. If I was to go straight through assignments, I could take and go under quizzes. Actually, that wasn't listed as a quiz, that was listed as a homework assignment, and quiz photo, and here's the same one here, and once again click on SpeedGrader there. So there's lots of different ways to skin this cat, lots of different ways to get to SpeedLoader. Now that I'm in here, I'm going to click on SpeedLoader, and you notice it started me out at 1 of 15. So I've got 15 of y'all that are registered in the course. Had some fun here with Miss Butler's earlier, so I'm going to delete that annotation. I'm going to show you how I did that. We've got 15 people registered in the course, and the 6 of the 15 have been graded. You can see right here, and the average score they've got is 10 out of 10. Up on this spot right here, you can see Miss Butler's name. She has a check mark saying she has been graded. I can go back to other students going backwards. I can go forward using arrows here, or I can take and use a drop down, and on my drop down you can see all the different peoples that are in the class. The check marks have been graded with a complete. The ones that do not have anything on them, they're kind of faded looking. All of y'all are slackers. You haven't turned in your assignments yet to me yet. If we come over to this side, if I click this button right here, it's going to take me straight to the grade book, and you can see what the grades are that have gone in for all the assignments. If I click on this button right here, what it's going to do is it is going to hide the grades so that the students don't get to actually see the grades. This can be useful, I guess, if you want to take and surprise them all, lock down all their grades. You put all the grades in, you hide them, and then everybody say, okay guys, surprise, here's your grades, click. I guess. I don't know why you would really want to do that, but it is a possibility. Next, we've got the settings, and the settings has some good stuff for you to look at. In settings, we're first going to talk about options. In options, you got ways that you can sort students. You can sort them by alphabet. You can sort them by the date they submitted the assignment, or you can sort them by the submission status. Either does it need graded, is it not submitted, things of that nature. So let's say I just sorted you all by this one right here and hit Save Settings. Now when I go in and look at the list, you can see all the need gradeds are first, and then all the gradeds are second here. Let's go back up here again, click on Options. I'm going to change that to alphabetical. Now next thing I want to point out is this one, hide student names in SpeedGrader. What that means is maybe you have this one child that every time you see his name, your blood pressure goes up, your heart races, and your head's about to explode, and you know in your heart and soul that maybe he has pushed you to the point that you might not be as kind grading him or her as you would another student. Well, you can take and hit hide grades or hide names and save those settings, and now when I do that, look at what we have over here. Student 1, Student 2, Student 3, and so on. That way your students are anonymous, and all you're doing is grading for the quality of the work. Now, I'm not saying that any of y'all would be biased towards a particular student. I'm saying that should you know that you are that way, that is an option that's available to you. Anyhow, let's go back. I'm going to put my student names back, and I'm going to go back into settings again, and let's look at keyboard shortcuts. J works sometimes depending on the grading format. J will automatically move you to the next student. K takes you to the previous student. If you click C, it's automatically going to highlight your comment box. If you put G, it's automatically going to highlight your grade box. And if you hit R, it's automatically going to bring up a rubric that you have programmed in. I've not done anything on rubrics because I hate using rubrics, but there is a really great rubric building program in Canvas that will allow you to use rubrics for grading your stuff. And I can particularly see that in assignments that have multiple things you're looking for. Did they include these different things into it? So the rubric could be very useful to you. So let's put this into a real world situation. So let's take, and we're going to start back with Miss Butler. Miss Butler's assignment is right here. Now I wanted to take and say, you know, Miss Butler did a bang up job, so I'm going to hold on, get my little tablet pen going here so I can make it look good. And I'm going to go put her a smiley. Just like that. Yeah, my smiley looks kind of evil, doesn't it? Oh well. And hit my check bar, and now that smiley is going to be saved there. And this gives you a way that you can actually annotate directly on JPEG images and some other documents that they have turned in as well. Along with that, you can take and put in, say, a balloon. So I'll put in a balloon right here from Miss Butler. And let me click with my mouse, it may work better. There we go. And leave comment. I would say, great job. I am using you as a sample student. And now Miss Butler, when she gets it back, whoops, totally hit the F12 button, let me kill that back off. When she gets that back, she'll get a notification that the grades have been put in, and she will be able to see, oh, there's a balloon there. What happens when I click that balloon? And you're going to see exactly what goes on for that. Or I could take and put another balloon right here and say for that one, 9.4, whoops, hold on, 9.4 out of 11. Is that the best you can do? I mean, you could do all kind of stuff, and I'm totally being mean to Miss Butler right now, which I shouldn't because I adore her. She's awesome. So we'll get rid of that one there. And now I'm going to trash that whole comment thing right there. But we're leaving her with her smiley face. We're leaving her with her text comment. You can also take and highlight sections. If I can get it to work. I've been having trouble getting the highlighter to work. I'm not sure, maybe my computer's not doing it right, but you should be able to click on highlight and then highlight a section and have a comment attached to that, but I have not successfully made the highlight option work. You can also take and write text in here, so we can put in a text box right there, say awesome or whatever, and right there's a new text box that goes with it. But I'm going to delete that one because that's just too many pieces of information going in there. But lots of different ways that you can go in and mark. Of course, you can change your colors, you can change backgrounds and whatnot behind the text boxes. Lots of things that you can put in here, guys. Lots of really useful stuff in SpeedGrader. Well, now that I've got that drawn on how I want it to, I want to put in a grade for her. So to put in a grade, I have to push the G button, and I think it was the G button. Let's go back and look at our keyboard shortcuts. Yep, change grade. Okay, so hit the G button, and it is not working, probably because I had something else going there. Let's go back to that and hit the G button. Nope, still not working. Fine. We'll just go over here, and you can see because this one was an incomplete or a complete based assignment, you have no grade, complete, incomplete, or excused. See if my J button will change the next person. Boom, there you go. I hit J and it changed to Brooke. Brooke's not submitted anything yet. For those of y'all that don't know, Brooke is going to be our new 6th grade math teacher. Hit J again. Celeste hasn't turned it in. Hit J again. Miss Henya Blossom has turned it in. There's hers. If I hit my G button, there it went. I don't know if y'all saw it, but the assessment just highlighted. And now that it highlighted, I can take and use my up and down keys in order to change that grade. Hit J again. go on to the next one, and so on. So it makes for real quick changing of the guard here, changing of the students, scrolling through them. You can real quickly hit one like that. I'm on Miss Martin now. From there, I'm going to hit my G button. Oh, it didn't work because I hit the wrong button initially. So we'll get her. She's complete. Hit J, go to the next one. Alright, there's a nice photo submitted by Mr. McCartley. And for some reason the G's, because the G's already highlighted. That's why it's not highlighting, because it's already highlighted. Now what if I wanted to take and hit the C button, type in a comment from that one, and I would say, who are those people? And tab over to the submit, and now that one's done. From there I should be able to hit J, and bang, we're on to the next person, Miss Montiel. So it shows some really quick, easy ways to scroll through and do your different types of, grade your different assignments. This option right here, you can attach a file to it. If I click on this option right here, it will allow me to either upload a video, or it will turn on my web camera and allow me to video a message to the student right there, and you can send your student a video feedback of what you have to say. We're not going to click on that because I'm still sitting in my pajamas right now. Go back over here. Let's look at some of our other grading options. I'm going to go back to Gradebook just to show you. This one here was a points-based assignment, and if I click SpeedGrader on it, you're going to see that it is based out of a certain number of points. So for that, I would just type in G. Well, let's take and go ahead. That one's got an assignment put in there already. So we will take and go on to the next student here. And this is with the place that the J doesn't work for changing. The J works to change screens for complete, incomplete assignments, but on something where you're typing in, so I'm going to put my G button in to highlight the grade, and if I was to type in a grade here, which right now we're going to put in a 0 for Brooke because it's incomplete. Sorry, Brooke. I'll delete that before I send it. But if I put my 0 in, and then if I try to hit J to go to the next screen, what happens? It types a J there. So when using the J to change screens only works when you're working with complete, incomplete grades, from what I have seen. Otherwise, you're going to have to use that arrow key up top to be able to change your screen. Go back to the gradebook again. We've also set up some scores here that are based off of percentages. So here I've got some percent-based grades for face mask. I can hit SpeedGrader on those. And actually, let's go back to that. I'm not sure what happened on that. Let's go to that percent-based grade again. And it was a face mask question that was on. There we go. Click here and then hit SpeedGrader. There we go. And now once again, you've got the same thing going on here. I don't have the grade thing highlighted, so if I hit J, it is going to take and change to the next student. But once again, if I hit G to put in a grade here, if I was to put in, this is a percent base, so even though it says out of 10, if I wanted to have full credit, I still have to put in 100. If I was to hit the J button to change screens again, ain't working. You're going to have to manually do those. But we're going to delete that also because Brooke hasn't submitted anything there. I do believe that has pretty well covered the bulk of what I wanted to show you in here. I know it's a lot, but I know that you will get used to doing it. I do want to point out that there are some assignments like this one right here where the computer graded it for me. That was a quiz. I did not have to grade it at all. I could take and put SpeedGrader in still and see what the quiz scores are, but you can see that there's no reason to do it because the computer graded everything for me. On that one as well, let's go back on. I want to show you a couple other options we've got with it. So let's go to that's a percent-based quiz. You can moderate a quiz. And moderating a quiz, you get to go in and look at every student, see how many attempts they took, how long it took them to finish the test, how many attempts they have left, so if you program in multiple attempts, and then the score that they earned. And then if you're not happy, if you want to take and adjust something on that, you can just click that, and that's going to take and allow them some extra attempts. So maybe you had a child, everybody only got one attempt, and you had that one child who was in the middle of it and their iPad died because they didn't charge it, and then they were timed out and they didn't get into it. You could take and go ahead and give Michelle maybe 1 or 2 or however many extra attempts in order to get that done. It's a simple way to add attempts to one student without having to go in and do it for everybody. Really cool, handy stuff here. And of course, we can also just look at the individual student score assessment by clicking on that right there. And there's all of her test questions. And Albie, really? Come on, it's Radar. How can you say that the dog's name was Albie? War Eagle, though. And there's also an option down here for fudge points. So maybe I think that Miss Martin does deserve a few extra points for having an Auburn name for an animal. So we'll go ahead and give her 1 extra fudge point there. And when I do that, you can see right now her final score was 7.2. Update those scores, she just rose up to an 8.2 because I gave her a fudge point just for having a War Eagle Auburn name there. I do believe that pretty well covers everything I wanted to go over. If you have questions, guys, let me know. I know this one was a little long. There's a lot to cover with it, but we're getting there. We're learning more, we're doing more, and the more you use this, the better it's going to get. Hang tight, send me your questions. Remember, I did put a question spot in our Canvas training discussion, so if you click on the discussion tab right there, we have a spot right here if you ought to ask questions, and nobody has asked me a question yet. Just me and my ugly gorilla staring at you, or maybe that is me, who knows. Alright guys, have a great day.